Hi, welcome to another episode of Foxy Little Nuggets, where we take the news, grate it finely, fry it lightly, and serve it with a garnish of despair. We begin with Keir Starmer, who has spent the week insisting defence is his number one priority, which is reassuring apart from the tiny difficulty that his Defence Secretary resigned because he said it wasn't. John Healey walked out, Al Carnes followed, a couple of other wonks troubled them no more, and they came away as well. And the Defence Investment Plan is still apparently being finalised, which in Whitehall speak means not ready, not funded, nowhere near complete, and we're not allowing anyone to see it. They even sent Peter File out to try and talk it up. And he was asked if he'd seen it, and he said no. But he's been told that it's excellent. Starmer now has promised NATO that the plan will be published before the summit in July. Splendid. You got what? Where are we today? 2 weeks? Oh well. Nothing terrifies Vladimir Putin like a British document arriving just before the sandwiches. This is the government's new military doctrine, though, isn't it? Deterrence by deadline extension. Quaking in his boots, old Putin, you know. Meanwhile, of course, Rachel Reeves is still guarding the Treasury. She's sitting there like Smaug on a hoard of gold. Well, spreadsheets anyway. There's no gold, is there? Brown sold it all. Defence wants money, welfare wants money, net zero wants money, public services want money, and Reeves is standing there saying, I have a plan. Yes, so did the Titanic. Avoid icebergs. The central problem is, of course, well, it's basically that Britain wants a first-rate military, Scandinavian welfare, American-style global influence, and tax rises that nobody notices. It's not so much a budget, it's a letter to Santa. Up next to Scotland, of course, where the SNP continues its bold journey from the Party of Independence to True Crime Podcast. Although they are waving the Celtar over it. Peter Murrell has admitted embezzling the 400,000, as we know, and now the party may face further questions over the tax treatment of spending wrongly recorded as party business. This is unfortunate for them. They've voted themselves out of having an inquiry, thanks to the Greens backing them up. But of course, the trouble is, if there is a tax issue, HMRC get involved. And there ain't no stopping them now. Because the SNP spent years telling Scotland it could run a country, it could handle the economy. And now it appears to have misplaced enough money to buy a motorhome, some luxury goods, and some sexy niggers. Full sturgeon. Oh yeah, baby. Gets you going, doesn't it? Gets the blood pumping. John Swinney says the public are not especially interested. Actually, the public really, really are. And now the party is going to, have to come clean, especially if, like I say, the HMRC come poking. The public are often not interested in accountancy, but they are kind of interested in true crime and theft and embezzlement and what people did with the money. So one does rather expect someone to say, actually, we should have an inquiry, maybe. Dearie me. The SNP line, though, appears to be move along, nothing to see here, as the fireworks are going off behind it. Ah, well. Still, Swinney is clinging on for now. It's expected that he's not going to last the full length of this party, but that's okay because Beryl's there to save them. They're going to swap out one bald-headed dinosaur for another. It's a very melancholy time in Scotland, isn't it? And of course, we've got to look at something that's a bit brighter there, which is SpaceX. It's really blown up, and not in a bad way, in a good way. It raised trillions. So Elon is there as the world's first trillionaire. And what can he do with the money? Anything he bloody well likes. That's the great thing. He could buy a country. I mean, literally, he could go to, say, Namibia and say to the Namibian government, that big chunk there, I'll buy that and I'll call it Muskland. And then he'd build cities, water purification plants, nuclear power stations, and he'd turn it into the most successful country on the planet, wouldn't he? Here's how bad our economy is, though. If all the money that Musk raised on the IPO was given to Britain, would still be $1 trillion in the shitter. Dear God, help us all. Now, I did mention this in a video earlier. Flutter, who own Paddy Power, have decided to take a bet on the American Stock Exchange and leave London. And it's the many that are leaving London now. London's stock market creates billions and billions of pounds for this country, so I think the government are quite glad to see all these countries go, all these companies go rather, because it means that we don't generate any money out of the stock market, which means Britain really does become a third world country even quicker than Starmer could have hoped. His Beijing bosses will be very, very pleased. May even give him an extra bonus at the end of the year. Who knows? Because the city used to be where the world came to raise capital. Now it increasingly looks like, where companies come to say thank you for your service. We're off to Manhattan. Oh well. We do have, of course, a little bit of good news. We always like to finish under "and finally." So today's "and finally," we have some actual good news. So brace yourself. A father and son have reportedly broken 3 world records by cycling around the world, covering around 18,000 miles together. Isn't that grand? I mean, that's a long time. And they must have been through some pretty dangerous places. I mean, you've got to think, cycling through Siberia. It can't have been pleasant. It really wasn't. Now, this is someone who's actually done this. This isn't a fact-finding trip by some minister, business class, paid for by us. They've done this themselves. Actual effort, pedals, rain, sun, sore legs, scraped knees, questionable hotel breakfasts, dodgy stomachs afterwards. The sort of family bonding that can only happen after thousands of miles when one of you said, yeah, I told you we should have got the bus. I told you we should have turned left in Albuquerque. I could. I mean, I don't know. When I write the script for these things, I don't know how I missed that one. I should have put that in. Anyway, there we go. There's something genuinely lovely about it. Father and son off doing that. My God, it'd kill me. Oh well. Let me know though. I thought that was. I think that's magnificent. 18,000 miles makes you wonder though. They must have legs like tree trunks now. But they went in one big circle. Unfortunately, our politicians seem to be just running around in little circles all the time, don't they? Ever decreasing circles, until eventually they all disappear up Starmer's backside. Like Lord Ali. Let me know your thoughts, dear viewer, dear friends, and we will finish there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit subscribe, and of course, don't forget I've got all the other channels as well. But yeah, we're up there. We're over 3,000 subs now at the time of this. I'd like to get to say maybe 5,000 by the end of the month. Down to you good people to do it. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks very much, and goodbye.